I think you're moving too much or doing something.
Is it
Paranormal.
paranormal? So who wanted to talk about the paranormal thing?
Paranormal.
Aaron's, because that's how he wants
Aaron's?
What, Aaron, you have a story to tell us?
it. He's probably got a bunch. But from YouTube, he's got YouTube
I have
ones.
so many stories I can tell you.
Are they the ones that you heard or experienced?
Experienced.
What
Oh,
did you?
I'll tell you mine. Oh, come on. Just. Because I've told you, just because mine are not scary.
Okay.
So,
Well, then
So then how's
then
it
why would you
paranormal?
say it now?
so it can lighten the scary.
No.
Well, how about we say scary ones and then
Don't
you
be
tell
scared.
yours?
Oh, okay, okay. All right. But then I'll be saying like, in my story. I'll be like, all cracking.
Howlies?
I'm just gonna advise you, if we start hearing stuff in this apartment, or if I see anything,
Just go after Aaron.
we're just gonna go, like, I'm gonna grab my bunny slippers, my PJs, and my blanket, and we're gonna go sleep at your place. So,
We're
be
gonna
warned.
take whatever
Alright,
is in here
Aaron.
to your house.
Let the record show she's currently wearing all of that she said.
I had one recently too, and I told Stacy about it.
Oh,
That was the first time I ever saw anything.
Oh, go.
Okay,
Okay.
go.
I
Shoot
saw myself naked in the mirror.
But I will.
The laugh.
No. Okay, so is it paranormal? That's what we're getting?
Let's
Go for it.
Oh, it's not
Yeah.
naked in the
Let's talk
mirror.
about
So
That's a whole different
We're
thing.
not going there.
That's a whole different one.
No.
That would be
So
like an advisory before.
all right, so
and
I
this-
guess the lead up is I was told that they were seeing something in this apartment.
Oh, this apartment.
All right?
Mhm.
Yeah, like a shadow, a whisper. That's what it was.
Who said this?
Stacy.
Oh,
Stacey.
you saw
Yeah.
this?
I would hear, like,
Uh-huh.
a man's voice.
Wow.
And it would say, like, the most random things, but I would hear it. Or sometimes I would hear, like,
What do you
Ugo
mean?
telling me something.
What do you mean random things?
Because what did I
The
tell
first
you?
one was hey.
The first one was just like, hey.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, hey. And then I was like, wait. I'm alone.
It was when I left at 3 in the morning for work.
Was it from at 3 in the morning?
Yeah, to make it
Was
better.
it 3:33?
Yes.
I'm just realizing I'm blinded. I'm getting a little freaked out.
And it wasn't one of those things like I could have been asleep because I hadn't gone to sleep.
I'm gonna take my headphones off. Okay.
Why, Luis?
No,
Well,
I'm
that's
kind of
really
getting a little.
You're getting
I'm getting a little too like claustrophobic in my head right now. Okay, go. And then Juan, here you
And then,
go.
babe?
Hear this one.
And then I just kept
Mike,
hearing it. Like
Mike.
I kept hearing it. Like all of a sudden it would say like hi or like random things, and it was just like
So it was friendly.
yeah, it was friendly.
Yeah,
it was
at least
kind
But
of
she
Why
said it sounded like me.
It was.
She said it sounded like me.
It did sound like you,
Are you
but I had
Paranormal.
What was that? What was that?
that was one in my ear.
Come on, dude.
That was one.
Ooh. I'm cagándome over here.
Oh,
Like,
man.
what was he doing?
With a water bottle.
Oh, dude. Come on. Okay, dude. Not in my ear though.
I'm
I
already
just heard
dying.
everything. Okay.
And then,
All right. And then.
so it was a random just.
And it sounded
Hey.
like you.
You said the first one.
Mm-hmm.
It was they just said hey.
yeah, and
she
then
said it sounded-
the like it kept going, and like eventually like 3 days later. I thought Hugo was asking me something, and I was in the shower, and I was like, "What are you talking about, Hugo? What are you talking about?" And it was like, "Dude, I'm not talking to you. Like, what?"
I'm literally
So-
crying already of laughter.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're supposed to scare you. No?
That's crazy.
I know,
wanna
but that's
hear
super
yours.
funny.
Scaring me.
That's super funny. Like you're just here at home and some guy's like, "Hey."
No, it was like imagine Hugo
Yeah.
saying "hey" to you in like a really low voice at 3 in the morning.
But I had already left.
Good evening,
But I
madam.
thought he was like, I don't know. I thought
Pardon
you came
me.
back. Like they canceled your call or something.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
so that's the lead up to me.
Uh-huh.
So apparently some of these things like hanging out in closets,
Uh-huh.
closet areas. I don't know why.
They like hiding in closets.
That's what. Yeah.
You've heard that before?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Because they're gay or
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
No, well then-
it's because
ghost.
one specifically was in the closet, right?
Uh-huh.
So
Oh, wow.
so I was in our restroom and I was pooping, right? But I only had, you know how restrooms have two lights? They have the light in
Yeah,
front of the
yeah.
mirror and then they have the light over the shower.
Uh-huh.
I only had the light over the shower on, which is where the toilet is. And I was there and I was on my phone and I saw like a light, light on where the closet is.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw like a spiral light, kind of like a firework.
Mm-hmm.
But there was nothing there, and I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and I looked, and there was nothing. So I'm like, okay, it was probably just me,
Uh-huh.
you know,
Yeah.
poop delirium, whatever it is. I was pushing too hard.
I think
And
the
then-
smell created
It was-
hallucinations.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then I'm looking at my phone because now that's what we do. I'll watch videos on my phone,
Right.
and I look back and I see it again, but it's like a weird spiral-looking thing,
Mm.
and there's no. So in my head, I'm seeing it, and I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
if I don't look at it, it probably won't go away. But I'm thinking,
Uh-huh.
like, is it a reflection? Is it from this light? Is it
Uh-huh.
from the other light? But the other
Like
light
trying
was
to
on.
rationalize it.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Uh-huh.
think in my head, what could it be?
Right.
Because the bedroom light was off.
Mm-hmm.
Stacy was in the living room. The only light was a light above me, and it's like a yellow light. It's not like the bright white one. So I saw this weird spiral thing, and I couldn't explain it. That's it. And then I told Stacy about it. So it didn't seem malicious or
Uh-huh.
harmful or
Right.
bad. I didn't get a bad vibe. Sometimes
Right.
you feel like something's watching you, and it feels
Mhm.
creepy, but it wasn't that at all. So I mean, I'm guessing it's just something that. I don't know. It's just kind of hanging out
But this
here for now.
apartment, ever since from the beginning, we've always like heard knocks on the door,
Uh-huh.
heard
Yeah.
scratches on the windows. No, like
Yeah.
Like hard knock.
like
Right.
knocks,
Oh wow.
like rattling the door,
Right.
Mhm.
knocks.
What about your old apartment? Remember
The
Oh,
old
what
happened there?
apartment, the old apartment. The
apartment had
girls
the-
were the ones that.
Uh-huh.
Well, I had started seeing like this little shadow figure.
No,
Well, not little. It was like 6'5". It was like a
'Cause
huge.
The first time you thought it was Ugo, no? Like
The first time
wasn't
I thought it
something
was
like
Zool because that apartment was pretty dark.
that? Right, right. And it was just like a big shadow.
It would
It was-
hang out. It would hang out the bar. at the
Yeah,
bar
it was
area
like always at the bar area of our kitchen.
where our
Right.
kitchen table was.
Yeah, like it's not a okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think what we're finding out is that the ghost is haunting you, not the places
Not
where
the
you
places.
live.
Like it's following you.
It's following you wherever you go. so.
Well,
Pretty much.
that one was crazy because
Uh-huh.
I saw it,
And the girls
and
too,
then my nieces started seeing it. And
We didn't tell them about it.
We didn't tell. I didn't say anything about it.
Right.
And this thing would like put his hand like on my shoulder.
Oh, wow.
So you would just feel like the weight,
Like the old song?
the weight of a man like right on your shoulder.
Uh-huh.
And I would just start crying.
Right.
But the girls went over and they were watching movies, and one of them was seeing it through the reflection like of the
Oh,
TV,
wow.
and she freaked out and left.
Right.
Oh, I remember that.
And they wouldn't visit as much, right? Or at
Yeah,
all.
they stopped visiting after
Uh-huh.
that.
Yeah, because she
Right.
she described what Stacy described without us ever
talking.
telling her.
Right, right.
But the weird thing was that is right before we had to
Why are
like,
you
leave
looking
that
around?
I'm
apartment.
blind though.
I know that's why. That makes it even weirder. Like you're just looking around.
Because I'm like,
Why would you do that?
I don't
You're
know.
just
it's
turning your
I'm
head.
just
It
kinda
scared
like
me.
an auto-
So right
I'm
before we had to leave that apartment because it got flooded,
Oh, it was insane.
it went crazy. It would like things would fall and like we would see it a lot more often.
She would, because
and
I
then-
don't see it. I didn't.
Yeah, Hugo never saw anything. But then the last time I saw it, it was like right outside, like where I parked, and which is right in front of our neighbor's house. And 20 minutes later, the neighbors go over and they start banging on the door and crying. And it turns out that one of the guys that lived there, her son,
He OD'd.
he OD'd in the
He died.
restroom.
Right.
And
So-
after that, we never saw it again.
Oh wow.
So that one's crazy because you would get a bad feeling from it.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that you could tell was
Right.
like she even told me be careful when you're walking out because she thought I
Uh-huh.
was gonna get beat up or
Right.
something bad.
Or
it was
have
like
a
a,
car
Like there were like
accident
signs. There's
or-
like a sign. Like
it was ominous.
Right,
Like
right.
It felt more of like a threat.
like a warning.
and it was around for like what 3 weeks before the guy died
Wow.
Yeah.
or a month. It was out.
Yeah.
She told me be careful. Like,
Right.
I don't have a good feeling. She would always tell me to watch out.
Okay,
And
but what is your theory as to what it is?
but-
what it is.
But also,
What easy?
the vibe from that one was like more like danger, but this one's more like
Right. But what is it?
I don't.
Is it a
know.
demon? Is it the spirit of death? Is it a ghost? Is it a black
I don't
eye?
know. You said it was like a warning. You felt like it was
The-
bad.
I
was
felt like it was
warning
trying to tell me
uh,
like it was like a caution to me. And after that, I was very careful when I would go out driving because
Right.
I was afraid of getting in another car accident.
you. I don't know what it would be.
I've
Because-
heard a lot of crazy things from a lot of people as to what these things could be. Like a lot of people describe like these shadow people as
Yeah.
they call them shadow people,
Yeah.
and they say that they feed off negative energy. But this felt like I'm trying to warn you, like I'm trying to protect you, and when it would grab me from here, I kind of felt like it's trying to tell you like, hey, calm down or
Wow.
something.
Do you think it was a good thing or a bad thing?
or neither.
I don't know. In the moment, I would get very emotional and it would scare me, but I feel like it did make us have a lot more precautions.
So you took it like a warning.
I took it like a good thing.
So
right.
what ended up happening was this was during when COVID was bad here, when we right before we moved out of the old apartment. I got home from work late on Saturday. I remember the UFC fight was on. I had just got out of the shower, and one of her nieces, whenever she used to go over to our old apartment, she would ring the doorbell, but she would just kept pushing it like we thought it was her.
Right.
Because I was
Oh,
literally
okay.
in the restroom putting clothes on. I had just got out of the shower.
But I had just gotten from their house.
Yeah, she had
So
just
what's the
come
weird
over,
thing?
so she thought like they followed her or they were just gonna drop by unexpectedly, and they were ringing our doorbell like frantically. It was a frantic ringing on the doorbell, and we thought it was your niece, and I was like, oh, you know, I'm putting clothes on, go for it. So I hear her open the door and I hear screaming, and they're screaming, my baby boy, and I don't know what's going on. So immediately I'm like, okay, it's not her niece. I throw clothes on. Stacy backs up from the door, and I tell her close the door. She closed the door. I put on, like, I had a little kit there with gloves, a mask, like everything, and I told her call 911. And I walked outside. I had a mask on, I had gloves on, and I start telling them what's going on. So she's like, my baby boy, and they had a baby. It was the older couple, and then we would see their son,
And they had a 2-year-old.
and they
Like
had
about a 2-year-old.
they had an infant, like a toddler. So I thought it was a kid. I thought it was a toddler, and I ended up. She's like, he's in here. She kept saying he drowned, so I'm thinking the toddler drowned somehow in the bathtub. So I go to the room, and it's the older son. He's probably in his 20s. He was dead. Like, he had already been dead.
Right.
And we
Oh,
had to
snap.
pull him out. I had to work him, CPR. I told Stacy, like, I yelled at Stacy because she had the door open. I was like, close the door, call 911, tell them what's going on. And then a bunch of his family came. I think one of his brothers or cousins showed up. And he started doing CPR. I got up, went to go talk to the girl. Apparently he took pills and she fell asleep.
So he was like in the shower, like
Yeah,
naked?
he was naked, slumped over. Like he was already
Like in the
blue.
shower?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was blue. He was stiff.
Wow.
So
he was already
knew-
gone.
Yeah, he was gone, and it had to be a while because I asked her like, "How long were you
Right.
asleep? How long was he in there?" She's like, "I don't know, a couple hours."
Wow. Wow.
So he was gone, and
Well,
then,
it was to the point where the water was already spilling out.
yeah,
Oh,
the
wow.
apartment, the room was flooding
so crazy.
from all the water, and then the paramedics got there, and I told them, and apparently they had already been called there earlier that day because he had taken pills.
Wow.
So I told them like I tried working him, but he was already stiff and he died. And then after that, we didn't see that
The shadow anymore?
The shadow never
So you think that shadow was like for that? Like if you're connecting it like that?
I don't know. Apparently, the apartment that we were living in was one of his friends or cousins. What was it?
They're cousins, yeah.
And he would go over and he would spend a lot of time there. And I don't know. I guess maybe they were moving stuff or he got in trouble. And
But the weird thing with that guy too was he was living there and we had no idea that he even lived there.
yeah, because he would randomly just come in and out. Like we would see him come and leave and come and leave.
Right.
We didn't know he lived there.
Right. Yeah, because it sounded like you said like the apartment we were living in, like not your little apartment, but like the complex or whatever, or
No, like they lived right across from us.
right.
But they used to have family that lived in our apartment before we moved in.
Oh, okay, okay.
So they knew the people that lived in the apartment that we were in at the time.
Right, right.
So he would go to visit the people there. Like he knew them.
Right.
And
That's
then he left to
crazy.
Austin because he got in trouble. And then I guess he moved back and he was living with them, but we didn't know he was living.
And you know what? Now that you say it, when we started seeing the shadow figure was right around the time when he started visiting his mom again.
Oh,
Yeah, we thought he was just coming around a lot.
So
more.
evidently you think that it was following him wherever he was?
Yeah.
So obviously it was like a malicious thing, right? Like a spirit that
Like a
was
spirit
trying
of
to
death, you think?
come in and take his soul.
Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe it was just clinging to him, and
Oh yeah.
I'm not very perceptive with those things.
Uh-huh.
She can see things I can't.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty dumb when it comes to that.
She's got superpowers.
What
Yeah,
happened
I don't
with
know why she
you-
doesn't give me lotto numbers.
What happened
That's
with you
I
at
want.
work, Hugo?
Oh, when I got choked. Well, let's tell Aaron. Tell the story.
You already. Spoiler alert.
I know, right?
No, because he's telling me.
When I got choked. Oh.
No, because he's got other other stories. I
Like,
remember from
the
before.
story that I always tell people
Uh-huh.
that gives them chills, apparently gives
Do they
them
multiply?
chills, is that yeah they multiplied. Is that story about that possessed girl that went to my parents' house?
Okay, okay.
Oh,
I've
remember
never
that
heard the
story?
story.
Yes.
I
Go
never
for it.
Heard
have.
the story?
No.
Okay. So my mom, she always, she prays for people and like, she's always trying to help people.
Yeah,
And I guess she had talked to this girl online who had a lot of problems.
yeah. And her mom was like a witch and stuff.
Curandera.
Can
She
you
was
not ruin my
curandera.
story?
Oh, my bad. I
there
was
you
just setting it up for you.
It's fine. It's fine.
All right.
So anyway,
The girl's mom.
so yeah, the girl's mom.
The girl's
So
mom.
anyway, the girl one
Red
day the
flag
girl
number
showed
one.
up at our house. So that girl one day just showed up at our house, and we didn't know she was gonna go. And when she walked in, my parents sat with her in the living room on the couches. And at the time, I was with my my girlfriend, and we were playing Mortal Kombat in like the other room.
Okay,
I don't know. I don't know why that's funny.
So you were doing like bloody fatalities on
Right.
the video game,
Right. We were
Okay.
killing people, and
Pretty much.
so then when that girl came in, she sat down in the living room with my parents, and they started talking to her, and she was telling them about all the issues that she had physically, all the problems she was going through, and my dad.
You want
was
to tell
like-
Stacy about those because she doesn't, and the listeners, all the people that listen to us.
What do you
Sophia,
mean?
go to bed.
What do you want?
She
What
would,
part?
she would have what were they? Arthritis.
Oh yeah, no, she was having issues where she was like folding up, like her
Like
body,
contracting.
her
Her
body
muscles
was
would
folding.
contract.
Yeah, it was really bad. So she had a lot of bad issues. I don't know what. Basically, doctors were like, we don't know what's wrong with you, but in a couple of years, you're gonna turn into like
pretzel?
basically like a pretzel. Like you're gonna fold.
Uh-huh.
Your body's just gonna start to shrivel up, and like they didn't know why.
Wow.
It was really weird. So when my parents were talking to her, they were, you know, kind of just asking questions and trying to find out what's wrong. Are you okay?
Yeah, she's.
Why is she laughing? I don't get this. I don't understand. Tell
Because
me.
we were making faces at each other,
Oh,
and you just
okay.
looked at us, and we're like, "Oh,
Okay. Okay.
it's just."
So, anyways.
Children
So,
behave.
anyways,
That's why.
I just because I don't want to make the story super long, so I'm making it as quick as possible.
Okay.
Okay. So anyway, so she had a bunch of problems, and so my dad, I guess he had been praying, and so he told her, "Hey, as I'm looking at you, he's like, I see a vision, kind of in the spiritual realm." He's like, and in this vision, I see a woman throwing a bunch of different things into a cauldron. He's like, and she's like whispering, like doing spells over this, you know, cauldron. And basically, he told her like, this person's doing brujeria to you, right? Like they're doing witchcraft to you. And you know, my girlfriend and I were not paying attention. We were playing our video game, but when he said that, I remembered that like I was listening, and the vibe really changed. Like the vibe got really serious. And that girl, she started to she looked different. And she didn't say anything for a while. She was just staring at my parents. And then that's when she spoke in like a different voice. And it was like a really deep voice, and it was really scary. Basically, it was like whatever demon she had inside of her, I guess, started speaking. And so as she was staring at my parents, she said it in like a deep voice, like who is it? Like that, like super creepy. And it was creepy because it wasn't just a deep voice. It was like there was layers to it. It was like multiple people saying it at the same time. So it was really scary. And that's when, you know, my girlfriend kind of like paused the game, and she's like, what's happening? Like, what is that? And I was like, I don't know. Right. But I was like, hold on, like just stay quiet. Don't move. Right. I don't know what's happening. And my dad told her like, hey, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you get the help that you need. And she said it again, but she said it in Spanish. She was like, ¿Quién es? Like, who is it? And so my parents were like, we just need to pray for you. You need help. And at that point in time, since my girlfriend was very scared, I was like, look, why don't we whisper here? Why don't we say a prayer together? And so we were like holding each other's hand, and we were just kind of talking. But we were whispering. I mean, we were maybe like, I don't know, 10 feet away. No, maybe 10 to 15 feet. I don't know, away from this girl. And she was in the other room.
Yeah.
But we started praying, and, you know, we were whispering almost like you couldn't hear us. We could barely even hear each other, but we were praying just like a light whisper.
Yeah.
And, you know, at that time, obviously I kind of, you know, growing up in church and all that, I knew that
And
like
your
if you
parents
say certain things, you were saying?
Your parents are preachers. They're pastors.
Yeah. You know, growing up in that type of household, it's like you know about those things, so
Right.
you know what to do.
Right.
And so when I was praying, you know, I was kind of freaking out. So I was like, let me just rebuke, you know, the spirit, right?
Right.
Tell it to leave, because that's what the Bible tells you to do. And so I kind of was whispering, but I was looking at this girl the whole time. And just because I couldn't believe what I was seeing, like she just looked completely different, and the voice was so horrible. And so when I was whispering, I was like, you know, in Jesus, or I said, spirit, like you need to leave, like I pray that you leave, go away, whatever. I said, and right when I said, like, in the name of Jesus, I rebuke you. And like I said, I was whispering this. She literally, like, I saw her as she was sitting those 10 to 15 feet away from me. I saw her kind of look up, like if she heard what I said. And she literally turned around and looked at me, and she said, "Shut up," while looking at me directly in the eyes.
In the eyes.
In the eyes. And I was like, oh my God. I just stayed super quiet. I didn't move. I was so scared. Like, she literally looked at me.
Wow.
There's no way she could have heard me.
Right.
There's just no way. Like, it was impossible. There's no way she could have heard me saying anything, but somehow she did. It's like the spirit knew what I was doing, and like her demon or whatever, demons, like they knew. So she literally looked up and then turned and looked at me and said for me to shut up. It's pretty creepy.
And then how did she calm down, or what happened after that?
So yeah, after that, I didn't say anything, right? I obeyed.
Okay, I'll shut up. Okay, I'll be quiet.
I was like, okay.
I'm pretty
well,
sure
okay.
that's rule number one.
Like-
Like, don't listen to what it says.
I was like, dang, girl, that's all you had to say. Like, I just turned around, like, okay. And no, my mom went over there and she kind of like, I guess she hugged her because she recognized like what was happening. And she hugged her and she was like, "Hey, it's okay. Like, it's okay. Don't worry." Like, I guess kind of calling out to the human part of her.
Like to take control again or whatever.
Right. And then she, all of a sudden she switched and she just started crying.
Oh, wow.
And then she went outside and she was throwing up. Yeah.
Wow. Just
Yeah, literally.
no, because they say that when you throw up, it's like all that.
That you're
manifests, right?
anorexic and bulimic.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah,
Are you
she
okay,
started
Luis?
puking outside.
Yeah.
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 I mean, that's the first time that I've ever had like a demon speak to me.
Right. That's crazy, man.
And
what-
hopefully the last.
Yeah. And Juan was there the whole time?
That was.
Juan was there the whole time?
were you there,
Yeah, I
Juan?
was there.
Juan was there. What? Why didn't you
The whole
say
time.
so?
The whole time Juan was just there eating popcorn.
What? Dude, you were there the whole
Yeah,
time.
no, I was there.
Juan remembers.
Where were
You were there
you?
too, no, Luis?
No, not
Were you in?
No.
Were you in the
No,
kitchen
no.
or where were you?
Juan was just
Juan was there
unfazed.
sitting
by
next to her.
I
Sitting
was
next
in the living room with your parents.
You were there,
He was
Juan.
probably sitting across.
Dang.
Yeah,
So
I
you.
was
So you were.
across.
Okay. So you remember all that, right?
Yeah, I was across the sofa.
You want to get a little closer and tell your side?
Yeah. Tell your side of it because I didn't.
think-
I didn't know we had a
No, that's
witness
what,
here.
That's
pretty
how-
much, yeah, what Aaron said.
Everything Aaron said, but imagine Juan looking at everything there in silence. Because I remember we talked about it. We talked about it like last year. And,
Oh, yeah.
and the revelation was that Juan was there the whole time, and everybody like the same reaction. What? What?
I always forget you were
Yeah,
there
Juan was-
because you didn't say anything.
I was there, man.
Yeah, he was unimpressed.
I know.
Oh, I was there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it wasn't that scary.
yeah.
I mean,
That's funny.
did you hear her though? You heard her speak.
Yeah, no.
You heard her tell me to. Her put me in my place. You heard her tell me to shut up. You didn't say anything to her.
At that point, Juan just got up and walked out of the house. He's like, nope, I don't, nope.
Yeah.
See ya.
I forgot, man.
No, but I was also kind of like you guys were doing like praying under your lip, right? Like I was
Yeah.
also, or like, under the breath. Or, I
Yep.
was also kind of like that, right?
Yeah, but she didn't tell you to shut up. She only told me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Look, I guess honestly, I was looking at her and I was praying, not only because I thought it was crazy, but because in some part of me, I kind of wanted to know.
Right.
Like I wanted to know if it was like real.
Yeah.
I showed you.
Yeah.
Did you get what you wanted?
I got what I wanted because after that, like, you know, when something paranormal like that or something crazy happens to you, and you know there's no, like, you know there's no way she could have heard you. Like I wasn't yelling or anything. I was
Right.
literally, it was under my breath. Like,
Right.
and the fact that she did hear it
Right.
and did look at me and tell me to shut up
Right.
was like, nobody can change my mind that there are real spiritual entities out there
Right.
and that they, you know, it's a spiritual realm. Like they don't have to hear you physically.
Mm-hmm.
They can sense it, you know what I mean? Or they can hear it
Right.
in the spirit.
Because a human couldn't have.
There's
heard-
no way.
Right.
There's no way. She was not anywhere
Close.
near me.
Right.
They can smell the fear.
Smell.
So
I guess it
don't.
was something else, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I mean, after that, it was
The
like
wing, they can smell the wing bar.
Yeah.
they can smell the wing.
Oh yeah, the conscript too. Yeah.
I mean,
That's
but
crazy.
it's stuff like, or even my dad and I were talking about this yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, when a spirit, there's a video I have to show you, but anyway,
Mm-hmm.
the spirits, like whatever, they have a certain way they move. Like when they move, they kind of, they spin.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them spin,
Mm-hmm.
and they move really fast.
Mm-hmm.
And we started talking about it because there's these videos on YouTube about African voodoo. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but these
No.
people will literally, like these African, tribes people, whatever, they have these hula hoop looking things that have these like grass around it,
Yeah.
and they'll stack those on top of each other, and they stack them up. It almost looks like a Christmas tree. And when they stack them up, they show you with a camera that it's empty on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
But when they stack up those things, they're kind of like, worshiping or,
Mm.
praying or whatever, and their voodoo, whatever.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden that thing will start to spin like in circles, dude. It'll just start spinning, and then it'll start traveling. And basically it starts dancing too. Like it
Wow.
mimics, it's almost like they believe it's their ancestors,
Wow.
but really it's like, we know it's like a demonic presence or
Yeah.
whatever. And that they want those people to be worshiping them. That's why they do those things. And so it like spins, it dances, it does all this stuff. And then when they take off those things, there'll be like a box or there'll be a gift.
Oh,
And the
wow.
people will open it, and there's candies inside, or there's
wow.
things inside, and they pass them out to the people, and the people are
Uh-huh.
like jumping up and down, rejoicing that they got,
Like a gift from the
fed. Yeah,
spirits.
they got a
amazing.
spiritual gift.
That's creepy.
So
It's
what
on
you-
YouTube. You can check
so-
this out.
What you're saying is, I can pray
There's
to
a
a
candy store
demon.
down there.
Yeah, it
give
sounded
me
like
a
Halloween or
Snickers?
something.
I'm saying if you want demonic candy, you can get it in
What-
Africa.
What's the trick though? Is it like that movie Thinner, where the more candy you eat,
Yeah.
the skinnier you get?
Something like that.
What torture?
I don't know.
I-
It's voodoo. Anyway, it's voodoo. So then my dad and I, we were talking about that because we're like, after we saw those videos, some of them are crazy. Like
I
people
think I've seen one of those.
people believe that someone's in there.
I thought it was-
But then on some of these, they literally will jump in the air.
Uh-huh.
Like they'll jump in the air and you see there's no legs underneath. Like there's no one in there.
Right.
So you know it's like a spiritual thing. I'm going to show you these videos. But anyway, my dad and I were talking about it because of that one time that we had prayed in my house. And then the next morning when I got up, I was about to go to school. And my dad and I met in the living room. And he was like, hey, like, how do you feel after we prayed yesterday? Like, do you feel better? And I was like, yeah, I feel a lot better. And he said, well, good, because in this house, he's like, in the name of Jesus, all spirits have to flee. And like right when he said that, there was a lamp that was on our piano, and it turned on. It was a touch lamp. You had to touch it for it to turn on. And it turned on, and when it turned on, the shade started spinning. And then when the shade started spinning, we heard like a against the door, and like my dad realized like, hey, this spirit just left. Like there was a spirit, even though we prayed last night and everything was good.
But when he said it right there,
Right
that
when he said
morning,
it, there was a spirit lingering
Right.
because it wanted to see if it could still come in. You know what I mean? Like it was
Right.
hanging out, like to,
Uh-huh.
I guess, try to capitalize on something. I don't know.
Right.
But literally, when we saw the lampshade spinning, my dad remembered, or when he saw that African voodoo whatever video, he remembered that lamp, and
Right.
he's like, "Isn't it crazy that the spirits do that?"
Right. Isn't also another motion like that, like a snake slithering type motion?
Mm-hmm.
Because remember there was like a lady, like
Oh, yeah.
at church, right? And then she was like on the floor, and then her body. She was like a big lady, right?
She was doing the worm.
Oh, she was doing the snake.
Right.
She was like a big lady, but she was all nimble, like
Did you
slithering.
find those videos or no?
It's kind of weird though that you say that, because do you remember the one that you told me about in the dance hall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was that?
There's a dance hall that we know about that Stacy used to work at, and I mean
You make it sound so bad.
no like
Not that type of dance hall.
So when,
it was like
let me help you. When Stacy was a stripper,
No. It was an actual dance hall where they had like bailes and they had like bands and
Because what that
concerts
reminds me
and
of like
stuff
the story where
Here's
the
video.
girl dances with the devil type stuff. That sounds like when I like.
Oh,
look,
yeah.
Pero
hold
so
on,
it's a
bro.
dance
Like,
hall,
so look, I'm showing you with this video.
right?
There's like a rock spinning.
You want to see it, babe?
There's a rock spinning, and the thing's empty. There's nothing in there. That's not like a freaking Roomba. like it's a rock.
It looks like a, yeah, it looks like.
And so they put this thing over it because the spirit is the one in there, right? So they put this thing over it because they think it's their ancestors. So they decorate these like whatevers, and then all of a sudden this thing will move, and it'll start like.
You don't
spinning.
think there's someone hiding in there though?
I don't, and I'll show you another video right now where the thing jumps, because at first I thought there was, but then when the thing jumps in the air, you're like, dude, there's no way. Like, there's no way. Look at that crap. Did you do that?
What do you think?
I
Of
think
that
there's
thing.
someone in there.
Chris Angel?
You think somebody's in there?
I think there's like a small person. What's the word? Small person? I don't know.
a small fellow.
Yeah.
Getting canceled in episode 3.
A vertically challenged person. What's the correct term?
There's no correct term.
Look, I'm gonna show you.
Woke culture.
Yeah.
You're woke.
Yeah. I think there might be someone hiding in there. No, like that.
It looks like that to you.
I think so.
Uh-huh.
What? I'm a skeptic for most things. I think.
I'm a skeptic for most of this stuff too, until the thing freaking
Yeah.
does that. Where's that video? There's one where it jumps, man, and when it jumps, it's like you gotta know, like, there's nothing in there when it actually does jump.
So you don't believe in that, Hugo? You don't think that there's...
No, like when I watch videos like that.
Oh, like
I'm
that video
more of a
itself.
Even here, like.
Uh-huh. Like those
because-
shadow things and those...
No,
what do you
thinks
think
I'm
about
crazy.
those things?
No, but like when especially with videos, like I feel
Oh,
like
videos are
might be
like...
fake. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm a
Especially if you're like kind of putting them for profit or trying to get some kind of...
I like watching this new Nuke's Top 5. You've seen it, right, Aaron? Have you seen them? Like he just compiles ghost video, paranormal videos, and I watch it. I'm like, okay, that's probably this. It's probably there's some good ones.
Like Logic, you're kind of thinking of it like how they
yeah,
could've
like
done
the
it.
thing that I saw, I try to like, okay, is it just a reflection? Is it
Right.
just me
Right.
pushing too hard?
Okay.
Aaron, did you see Cruella?
I've not seen it. I haven't seen my ex in a long time now.
Finally, it works.
Yeah, I deserve that one.
That's fine.
Okay, look at that, dude. Look at that thing. What is that?
That's the guy breakdancing.
There's no way.
Or the stick.
Uh-huh.
There's no way.
That's
But
Jose
when-
Jalapeno.
But when they happen to you, you like you believe in them, but not in video form, maybe, or what? Or not even when you kind of like. Remember when you were like in the morning? You
It's
were
because that's like a tribal setting.
okay.
So to me, that looks
Oh.
like something to like manipulate the people.
Right.
I think
Uh huh.
Yeah, I mean, it could be.
religion is the
But,
opium of the masses.
But what do you think about when it happens like?
but that's not
outside
really
of that
religion.
setting?
That's just voodoo.
Yeah.
But it's voodoo's a religion.
Well, voodoo's like black magic.
I mean, I guess.
It's kind of
It's just
both.
more-
It's a little of both. Voodoo's like religion plus. Like,
But you don't think they can control people through the fear of that?
I think
Sure
they
they do.
can.
Like
Yeah,
I think,
no, I think they can.
they. I mean, obviously, hopefully, no one, But like voodoo is real. I think if you send intent,
Uh-huh.
and
Mhm.
a lot of voodoo is like to harm other people. I think.
Well, they do like it's voodoo, but they also mix like actual things to, like they do little potions and stuff. Like it's crazy. Kind of, I know they've kind of devised some things like you've heard of like the zombie and stuff with voodoo, like
Yeah, the powder.
the powder, like all these things. Like they have a.
Road trip to New Orleans to investigate more?
Oh,
I'm
no.
down. You guys want to go to New Orleans?
I'd go
I'm
eat.
down.
I'd go eat.
We
Yeah,
can
they
get
have some
beignets.
Cajun food.
The Cajun food is what
Yeah,
I'm
some beignets and coffee. Café
Man,
du
you
Monde.
eat enough of that Cajun food, you're gonna have voodoo doo.
Oh yeah, voodoo.
Voodoo.
Yeah.
I'm down to go get some boudin and eat it at a cemetery or something.
Right.
Okay, look. Now that we're talking about doo doo,
What's that guy's name from?
this is a good transition.
From what?
From The Princess and the Frog. Papa.
Papa Smurf. Look,
What's going on? What?
Papa Squad.
Papa Squat.
Papa Murphy.
Look, so when was it? Earlier this week, and I told Hugo about this.
And you-
There's this no, that's what I'm telling you right
I
now.
know.
There's this Indian like restaurant
Uh-huh.
in Kingsville,
Oh.
and people keep telling me about it. So
Uh-huh.
when I was in Kingsville on Tuesday, I was like, all right, I'm gonna check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went, and it's a really cool place. Food
Like-
was really good,
like
really
Indian,
good. Indian, like yeah,
like India, not Native American.
right, right, right.
Oh, okay,
Like from
okay.
the Silk Road.
Yeah,
Okay. And the food is
the food was really good. Yeah, so
Okay.
he gave me like
Oh.
a couple of different things. There was like
Right.
lamb meatballs.
Oh, wow.
There's like this buttered chicken. There's a rice. They gave me like a big plate. It was
Right.
really good, very spicy.
Yeah.
But I ate all of it. And I remember thinking, like, after I ate it, I was
Yeah.
like, dang, like,
Where's the restroom?
this is gonna
Okay.
come back to haunt me.
Yeah.
Like, the shadow people
Yeah.
in this food, it's gonna come back
And
to
on
get me.
that note, bye.
And so, but I was fine. I was like, okay, I'm fine.
Okay, cool.
And so, literally, I went like the whole day. I was fine, like no problem. But then the next morning,
Mhm.
it was like 4 a.m,
Right.
and I woke up literally because I was like, oh, I'm gonna crap my pants, and I
you-
ran to the restroom and like, dude, I went. I really went. Like it was like voodoo. It was bad. It was so bad.
So you had a cleanse.
And-
You had an exorcism.
So basically the it was the exorcism of my food. So then after I went,
Uh-huh. Were you at a hotel or your house?
no, I was at my house. I had
Oh,
made it
okay.
home. I was so thankful. I'm at my house. So the next day, no. So that same day, so I went early in the morning. I pooped really bad.
4 a.m.
It was like 4 a.m.
Or, let's say it was 3:33 in the morning.
It was 4.
Okay.
I remember because it was like
All right.
anyway. So then I went really really bad.
Uh-huh.
So then I was like, okay, well the demon is out. Like I'm done. Like this is good. So I went to Corpus and I was doing my thing, doing my job, whatever. And then I got an energy drink
Oh no.
and I was sitting in the parking lot and I was like, making phone calls and I was
Right.
doing all this stuff. When all of a sudden the demon returned. And I was like, and I almost died. And the pain was so strong
Wow, dude.
that I like sped as fast as I threw my phone and I was like, dude, I sped because I was like, I need to make it. I am 32 years old. I'm not crapping my pants. Like I'm not going out like this. So I drove.
In your work clothes and everything?
Yeah, it was like my scrubs, you know what I mean? I was like, dude, this is not okay. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to do this.
Right.
And so I drove and I went to.
Did you drive all the way home from Corpus?
No.
Because you were using public restrooms.
Yeah.
I remember that public
Look, honestly, I remember thinking like I have to go so bad that I'm willing to even pop a squat on someone's yard. Like I had to go so
tell you my
bad.
story.
I was literally, I'm not ashamed.
Right.
I'm not ashamed. Like I got it.
I'll join
This
you in a
is
bit.
bad.
I'll join you in a bit. Go.
And,
Okay, so-
go ahead.
So then, that was it.
No. So then I went.
Crap his pants.
So anyway, so I went to a Dollar General and I
The only
got
time we're
down,
going to see. Okay.
and I was like, okay, like I just played it cool. Like I walked in and I just like pretended like I was gonna buy something.
I'm pretty sure you were sweating enough.
I was sweating.
Trembling, sweating, shivering.
And so I walked in and I was like pretending to look at stuff and I said casually I looked at the lady.
I can picture
And
like
I was
trembling,
like,
dude.
I was shaking, and I told the lady, I was like, "Oh, hey, by the way, do you perchance, madam, do you happen to have a restroom?" And she said, "Oh my," she's like, "Oh, well, we do, but it's out of order because somebody destroyed it. Somebody destroyed it this morning." So I was like, "Oh," the pain grew, intensified. But I was like, okay. Like I still had to play it cool. So I was like, oh, no worries. Like it's all good. And I was like, oh, this is 99 cents. Oh, I might. And then I ran out.
You have to get in line.
I literally ran out, dude. And I was like, I wanted to cry. Like I was like, dude, this is not going to happen to me. Please, God. Like I was like, mercy. And I finally made it to this gas station. And yeah, I basically like pushed people out of the way. I was like, move, witch. And I went and I had to go.
That's crazy.
It was
dude.
bad.
Wow. That's crazy, man.
So anyway, so it's real. Voodoo is real.
Okay, we probably should have started with this, but
Uh-huh.
skeptic wise,
Uh-huh.
are we all pretty good on like whatever those things are? They're pretty real.
Oh, I forgot about everything. I'm just thinking if we ever do a road trip with him, we're packing wipes,
Diapers.
I had 'em
shower
with
curtain.
Me too, for sure. You gotta get me in there.
I may or may not have thrown my underwear away. You don't have to know that.
Oh,
I said I may or may not. Like,
which is I made.
I know that's not a guarantee.
Right.
It's not a guarantee that my underwear is in some Walgreens. It's not a guarantee.
There's when I was in we were like in high school, and it was maybe like junior year, senior year, and then for whatever reason, me and another friend, we were like walking from my apartment to
My
I don't know,
house?
to Ugo's. Well, we weren't going to Ugo's house. We were going maybe like, I think we're walking to his house. I don't even know why, because I think we just didn't want to wait for his dad to like pick him up or something. I don't know what it was. He was being a rebel because he's always like whatever. Anyway, so we were walking from like my apartment, which is like it's not super like close either, so it's like a good distance. And then as we're kind of walking by Hugo's house, me and him are like he's kind of like oh man, Hugo's probably in there sleeping, all lazy, whatever. And I'm kind of laughing like yeah man, whatever. And then as soon as we pass his house, I don't know where like I start getting like a like my something kind of just goes down my stomach and like. Whoop. And I'm like, I think we were drinking Thirstbusters. And all the time when sometimes when I would be drinking Coke or Thirstbusters, it would hit me sometimes, especially with the sun.
Stacy's out of this conversation.
Oh yeah, right. So anyway, my stomach, right? I started getting what you felt, right? At least you're in a vehicle, though.
Right.
I'm like,
you felt like that scene where the alien was coming out of your stomach.
It was in my stomach. It wanted to come out another area. I think it wanted to exit the body, whatever. So like we start walking kind of more, and then the more we're walking, like I'm like, dude, I gotta like, we need to go to the gas station real quick. We need to do something because I'm like, I gotta go, man. Like, and then we're like walking, and I'm kind of like running a little bit, but like with my hand, like my legs all like close together, whatever.
Stacy literally is walking
it's
out
become
of
this.
This is the paranormal, Stacy. This is the paranormal.
Oh yeah, this is
manifestations of demonic.
This is a paranormal poo-cast. The poo-cast.
She literally walked away. She didn't want to hear this.
That took a quick turn.
Are you going to the restroom?
You don't come back though.
Oh, okay.
Like, we're gonna circle back around.
What did she
She's
say?
she's taking a phone call.
Oh, okay.
And then Luis?
Well, then we were kind of
Things are getting good.
Yeah, like so we kept walking, and we're kind of like, okay, look, there's a gas station like this, like close. We just gotta go through like, and it was kind of like we were next to the road, so we just kind of had to follow the road, and then if we kind of would turn, we'd kind of finally hit a gas station, and I'm like. Okay, I'm like trying to stay calm, and I'm like, okay, and he's kind of trying to like, okay, hold on, man, hold on, we're gonna make it, you're gonna make it, like trying to cheer me on or whatever. Right. Come on, and then there's like an 18-wheeler, like the bed of an 18-wheeler, close to like the side of the road. And then I'm like, dude, I can't hold him. I'm just gonna like go behind this 18-wheeler, dude. And I'm just gonna like, I'm gonna go right now, man. I'm gonna go. And he's like, no, dude, what are you? And then, but I was so like, I was serious. I was gonna do that, man. Like serious, I was gonna do that.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, man, look right here. Come on, hold on. And so he kind of finally like convinces me. I'm like, okay, let's go. So I'm kind of like running, like kind of running, but trying not to run too fast or too hard, right? So, and then we finally get to the gas station. And then we go in, and me trying to, he's all like, he's trying to play it cool, like the way Aaron did, like, hey man, where's the restroom? And I'm like, move, man. And I kind of just go in there, and I do my business, and then like we leave, But that thing, like, you're so like, it's such an urgency that you're
your
just
brain
willing
panics.
to. Oh yeah, man. I'm like,
your brain panics because it knows.
It knows you're not gonna make it, and I was
Right.
like, dude, I was so serious. Like when you said like, oh man, like
I
would've-
considered it.
Yeah, me too. And I had like behind the bed of the 18-wheeler, I was like, okay, I'm gonna, this is it. This is where I'm gonna go. But
You made a decision in your
I
life.
did.
Like
In my
you were willing.
I had visualized it
Yeah.
in my
No, I
head,
saw
like,
it.
okay, I'm gonna, but I was like, okay, like I can hold it. And then like, thank God, because I was praying, shaking, and everything. Like it's real.
I even thought like, you know what? If I go in my scrubs,
They're
you know
brown.
what? That's gonna happen. Like that could happen. You rationalize. Like
Yeah.
it's like when people are in tough situations where
Right,
maybe they're
I've done
about to
that a
die.
lot.
Like
Right.
they literally
Acceptance is
they
part of-
accept it.
Right.
Yeah, they
It's
accept
like
it.
Yeah.
There's probably a 12-step process to pooping in
There is.
public when you know that it hits you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Acceptance
No.
is a big part of it.
And I was almost to
Acceptance.
that point.
Why
that
is
point
it
too,
12?
I was like, well, so this is gonna happen. So this is happening, pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
And you
like,
kind of
how
think about it. You're like, you know
Yeah.
what? I've achieved a lot in my life.
yeah,
but
pretty much like, okay, like, so this is
This is
part of
this
my
is where
life.
I'm at. You know
this
what I
is
mean?
me now.
This is.
I am what I am producing. So
yeah.
I mean, it was
I
my
know.
decision to eat Indian food, and I knew the consequences.
yeah.
I don't think I have a successful like getting to the restroom story.
A successful.
How were you? Like,
I don't think I've ever successfully made it to the restroom.
The paranormal.
wow, that's crazy.
Well, speaking to the spinning thing. So
Uh-huh.
you're a believer, Luis? You're skeptic? You're you're on the fence?
I'm more about. I believe in this more than I believe in aliens.
What?
Like, cause they're the same. Like,
What?
this more of spiritual stuff. Like, I think it's like the spiritual stuff is.
Real?
If you mess with it, yeah. Like, let's say the Ouija board. If you play with that, you're opening doors. Like,
Do you think that talking about it and making a podcast? is
no,
gonna-
no, that's not a door because you're just talking. But let's say you're like partaking in something, like
Right.
you're lighting candles or you're doing something like
I have
weird.
candles. You want to light them?
No, and
They're from the dollar store.
they're birthday candles. But no, like you know what I mean. Like if you're actually like willingly doing something, like like with the Ouija board, for example, like that for sure. And I know when you were younger, your cousins or
I
even
used
you.
to have a Ouija board.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like after that, like
Well,
things
it
happened.
didn't want to work, so I drew a pentagram in the back,
Uh-huh.
and then it worked.
And you're not
Gotta open
joking.
the door.
No, I'm not joking.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Look.
saying. And then you had like all this crazy stuff happen.
It doesn't matter if you're a skeptic or not. It doesn't matter what religion you believe in
Right.
or whatever. When
Right.
something goes bump in the night
Mhm. Yeah.
and you get chills on the back of
Right.
your neck and your hair
Right.
stands up
Right.
and you know that it's something abnormal out of this world.
You can
That's
feel
the
it.
great equalizer. Like it doesn't
Oh,
matter
yeah.
what you believe in, you're gonna get scared
Yeah,
because you
yeah.
know it's not normal.
Right.
You know it's not human.
Right.
So
What do you think about sleep paralysis or like the shadow people? Like
I don't know.
those
I look,
things.
because that's what ended up happening to me at work. I used to
And
get
it-
sleep paralysis a lot.
It happened to my sister also, and it's happened to maybe twice to me.
Doesn't your
And,
sister sleepwalk?
Yeah,
She sleep farts.
she sleep talks, sleepwalks.
She
But
sleep
she-
talks through her butt.
So I looked it up when I started getting it a lot,
Right.
and it's pretty much the chemical in your brain that
But that's
keeps
the-
you asleep. That's what they say.
Yeah, that's the
It-
scientific
that you want to
explanation.
wake up with
Mhm.
the chemical in your brain that lets your body go into
Right.
a deep sleep to
Mhm.
REM sleep.
Right.
But I don't know, man. It's weird. I've had them several
Mhm.
times, and the
Right.
worst one I had was at work recently. Was the one that I told you all about, where I got choked.
Right.
But going back to the spinning thing,
Mm-hmm.
Stacy used to work at a dance hall.
Mm-hmm.
They used to do-
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
All
So one of the nights they were closing up, and they were getting everything ready after a dance. I mean, they were shutting down everything,
Mm-hmm.
and they have security cameras, and they had security, and so
Mhm.
the security guy calls them in, and he's like, "Y'all need to check this out." And
Uh-huh.
there was no one in there. They had locked everything. Everyone was cleared out, so they were in the office area,
Mm-hmm.
and they saw a woman in
Mhm.
on the dance floor,
Mm-hmm.
and she was dancing, but she was spinning,
Uh-huh.
like dancing and spinning, and you could see her on camera, and there was no one in there, like.
right.
And I've been there. There's been several things at like events and
Uh-huh.
stuff, and
Right.
I've had several people like tell Stacy, like some of her friends
Right.
told her like
Right.
there's something here, and it was.
But I mean,
full.
she was a real woman, or she was like an
it was
apparition
an apparition. It was some sort of
that
spirit.
he caught on video,
Yeah,
And how
It
did
was
it look on
and it was
video?
spinning.
she said you could kind of you could see her.
Like, but could you see through her? Or
I don't know.
uh-huh.
She, I mean, it'd be. She,
But it was
she
empty.
tells the story. Yeah, but it was happening, and
Uh-huh.
multiple people saw it.
right.
And when we had her bridal shower there.
Mhm.
and I was helping out and stuff, and her friends were there, and there was something there.
Mm.
Like several people.
You could
they,
feel it?
yeah, she hadn't told them
Uh-huh.
about it, but
Right.
one of her friends came up to her and like, what is here? Like
Mhm.
he's
There's like
kind
a
of
presence.
You could
yeah,
feel
like
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 it's something?
Stacy's perceptive to those things.
Right.
I'm really not. I'm
Right.
horrible.
Mhm.
I think certain people are very perceptive to
Yeah,
those
yeah.
things, and
Right.
he's kind of like that too. Like
Mhm.
him and Stacy, you
Mhm.
know, they know when something's there,
Mhm.
which is creepy. And he
Right.
told her right away, like there's
Something's
something, without him ever knowing anything from that place.
not. Uh-huh.
And when I had my experience, it was pretty much a sleep paralysis experience. But
Your
I was at
office-
work.
The office one? Yeah. okay.
Yeah, I was at work, and there's cameras at work
Mhm.
too.
Right.
And so I just ended up sleeping on the couch. It was an early morning, and I went in super early. I was on the couch asleep, and same thing as usual, man. I was asleep, and I started having sleep paralysis.
Mhm.
And one of these, I felt like the last one was really severe.
Mhm.
I felt like someone was choking me,
Mhm.
like someone got on me and was choking
Yeah.
me, like,
Right.
and I was swinging like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
And I apparently I was swinging in my sleep, like I was trying to get whatever was off me, because
Mhm.
I woke up, I got up, I looked at my watch, and it was 7:32,
Mhm.
and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go get breakfast. And I text my director. I'm like, hey, can you do me a favor and just look at the cameras, like the past 5 minutes? And I didn't tell her why. I just said, can you check the cameras? I was asleep in the main area, in the main office, on the couch. And she ended up just calling me back, and she was like, what was that? What's going on? And she told me she saw something on the camera, on the security cameras. She described it as like something was where I was sleeping,
Mhm.
but she described it as something dancing. Like it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
pixelated. There was something like a video
Uh-huh.
whatever.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't
You
see
haven't
it
seen it?
because I just woke up and there was nothing. I just felt like I was being choked.
But like, have you seen the video?
No, they
No.
have it saved. They have it saved. I don't have it.
Right.
But yeah, it was really weird. She called my wife and told her,
Oh, I remember. She was asking
and
like,
she got mad at me because she's like,
Oh.
well, we had been joking that we were gonna go to the San Juan Hotel
Right.
at 3 a.m. and we went to go Ouija board,
Oh,
just like being dumb, right? We had joked about it, going ghost hunting.
Oh,
We had talked about going ghost hunting. We never did.
Right.
So Stacy calls me while I was with my partner getting breakfast, and she starts scolding me, starts asking me what I was doing, what I
Yeah.
had done,
Like, are you
blah, blah,
opening
blah. And
doors?
I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. Like, I promise I was just sleeping.
right.
But I know my husband, so I know my husband,
She's
so
back.
I know that he could have been at the San Juan Hotel with the Ouija board.
Yeah.
But I didn't. And
So
she
he
says
says.
that in the video, I was swinging. Like, my boss saw it. My boss got freaked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
My boss talked to me about it. The director saw it.
Yeah.
They said I was swinging in the air, and then I just got up. Like, I woke. I don't remember swinging in the air.
Right.
I don't remember doing any of that, but I felt like someone was chugging me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Cause-
no, I
they-
mean that's what spirits do.
And
I-
they say
I
that
really believe
about sleep paralysis, that you feel somebody on top of you. Like when my sister, oh my gosh, grow up, grow up,
I'm into it.
grow up. Okay,
No, look, I got another one.
Go
I got
for it.
another one.
Go
Okay,
for it.
so
Wait. So,
Okay, go.
Stacy, do you want to tell the story?
Oh yeah,
I kind of told the
He
story.
kinda
I
told
don't have the
about the
details
dancing.
about the dancing woman.
Well, they would do a lot of like I don't know, Pegaso's gonna come, right? Like dances like that. And so they would have like sound checks, or they would have like a DJ, or just like stuff like that. So when one of the sound checks,
Oh, that's what it was.
they had all of the light. Like this place has like a lot of lights, like so that the dance floor looks
Yeah.
like really.
it's like a dance. It's a
Yeah.
dance hall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at one of those sound checks, there was just like the guy in the DJ booth, the guy that was messing with the lights. Like they were in the DJ booth. There was no one else in the building except for someone in the main office, and that guy was looking at the cameras, and he saw someone like this lady dressed in black, twirling around in the middle of the dance floor. And they were just like, there's so the guy like looks at the screen and he's like, there's no one here. He goes out and he's like, there's no one here. So he goes back inside and he still sees her. And he started telling people, and they were all like, nah, you're crazy, this and that. And so they just like let it slide. Well, as the weeks started going by, they would randomly start, like as they were like cleaning and stuff, they would see like someone dancing in there.
Wow.
Spinning.
Like in
This
that-
one was spinning.
I'm telling you, they
There's a
spin.
spin
Like
in
these
motion.
spirits spin. That's why when I see that stuff on YouTube, like
The lamp, right?
the
Yeah.
lamp, you see, yeah, exactly, the lamp. Like you see things spinning. There's something about it. I don't know what it is, but
And
But
I also
then-
told them about your bridal shower.
Yeah, like one of the guys that was there, he said that this lady would go up to him and start screaming. I don't know what you said. What did you say about my bridal shower?
That your friend had told you something there. I don't
Yeah.
remember that part about
Like
the
the
screaming.
presence.
Yeah, they would say that it was that she would go up to you and she would just like go up to your face and start screaming at you, and no one could like you like he said he didn't even know what she was screaming. He was just like lady screaming in
I've
your
had
face.
that happen to me several times.
And then
Because I told them that some people are perceptive like you,
That's
and
crazy.
at my bridal
You're very.
shower,
It's like you're very sensitive to the
Yes,
spiritual realm.
yes.
You know what I mean? So you
Somebody
get
Yeah.
told me that it's called like they're empaths. I was like,
Empaths?
I've never heard that before. Yeah,
it's
like
an
empath.
like when you have empathy,
Like empathy,
you,
but
you
empath.
feel whatever.
You feel whatever, but also it makes you more like susceptible to, I guess, spiritual
Spiritual
stuff too.
stuff.
Yeah, like
Well,
not just emotions, but also spirits.
You have, like,
my
spider
bridal
sense.
shower
Pretty
was
much.
at this place, and I can't say that I saw anything, but I had this really sharp pain. Like as soon as I got there, I started getting a really sharp pain, and I started feeling like, I don't know, like sad. Like there was like a
Like
lot.
sorrow.
Yeah, it could have been all the negative energy in there,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
but I don't know what it is. There's something about that place that
Where is this place? In Miami?
No,
It's in
Juan.
Mission.
You want to go to the
No,
dance hall?
Juan.
Juan?
No,
Let's go,
way.
Juan.
Juan wants to go.
No,
Or
he
la
doesn't.
zona.
He doesn't.
No,
He's
it's
like, Juan's like, you spin me right round, baby, right round like a record, baby.
Not that was like maybe
He's like dressed in black.
No,
She
it's-
likes to dance. Sounds like my type of girl.
Yeah.
That's what she said like that.
Lady in black.
No, it's over here.
But was she hot?
Mission.
Yeah, what's that?
That's Aaron's question all the
Like
time.
the zone. There was
I was talking to him on the
a
phone
girl
last
in the
time.
zone.
Yeah.
Back in the
zone?
day.
What do you mean?
No, but when the zone was the zone, but then they invested and everything came right.
Yeah.
What
They-
happened at the zone?
There was a girl Juan had his eye on at the zone. The old zone.
I thought there was a ghost story there.
No, no, it was
There
just
It
Juan.
was just a girl story.
Yeah.
It's just a girl story.
That's crazy. I don't know,
yeah,
man.
it's pretty
It's
crazy.
very weird.
Oh yeah. No, I just remember now. So, okay, so the whole sleep paralysis thing, or some experiencing supernatural
Yes.
while you're asleep.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was in college,
Mm-hmm.
we
Like, who here has had sleep paralysis?
Me.
Yeah. Me too. I've
I
had
think
it twice.
everyone-
What is
yeah,
that?
everybody.
What is that one?
Yeah.
That's pretty
Uh,
much when you're sleeping and you feel like you can't wake
You
up,
can move, but
but you're awake.
and
I've
and
never had that.
okay.
Juan's just like, I sleep.
He's like,
Yeah,
I'm not
Juan-
immortal.
Juan
Do you-
sets the rules to
do you
when he
dream-
wakes up.
Because I
Do you-
just Googled it and I don't dream neither, right?
Yeah.
Or-
Right.
No,
Juan says he
no.
doesn't dream.
It's like once every 20 years.
Damn.
So he's dreamt once in his whole life.
Wow,
I
that's
don't
amazing.
dream. I just order
Yeah.
tacos in my sleep.
No,
Yeah,
and that's the
he
thing
orders
too.
Wow, that sounds really good.
Definitely.
And that's
Okay,
the
look.
thing though, because Juan
So-
says he doesn't dream, right?
Right.
But then at night, if I'm kind of like going to get up to pee or whatever, I hear, like I hear him like at night, like fighting off something. And in the morning, I ask him, "Hey Juan, what were you dreaming?" I don't dream. But like I hear like a fight going on, like him, like
Dang.
like sleep paralysis and demon warfare and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's, I dream once every 20 years.
Right.
What is he like? Pennywise? He only dreams once.
No.
Yeah, he only comes out, yeah,
Or like
from the
Jeepers
sewers.
Creepers,
yeah. Jeepers, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no,
Are
sorry,
we ready
Aaron.
for my story
Yes,
now?
sir.
All right.
And then I have,
Go for
okay.
So anyway, so I had a mask at about one Halloween, and y'all remember this mask?
Oh yeah, the
Yes.
Michael.
It was a Michael Jackson mask.
Yeah.
So anyway, I know Luis doesn't believe me that this really
I
happened.
remember that. Okay, go.
So anyway, so there was one night. There was one night
Go,
where
go.
Should I just pee here at the table?
go for it.
No.
Accept it. It's step 12.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Go.
It's acceptance. Anyway, so could you stop it?
No, it's just muted for me. Oh,
It sounds like
That's me.
you're muted,
I'm
Aaron,
muted.
and not you. Yeah.
Testing 1 2.
You're
Okay.
not allowed to talk.
We can
under
hear
I know.
tea.
So anyway, so there was one night where I experienced a lot of crazy stuff. I felt a huge pain in my chest while I was asleep. And then I was kind of like, I felt like stuff was, I don't know how to explain it, but there was like whispers passing by my face. I felt all this weird stuff. It was a restless night. It was horrible. And
So you felt like the weekend of the Super Bowl.
yeah, basically. So it was like really stressful. It was horrible. I was just restless. I don't know what kind of crazy night I had, but I literally, like, I felt like I was going to die. Like, I literally felt like I was going to die. And I remember the next day, I woke up and Luis called me. I think I was on my way to school, to the university.
Right.
And Luis called me and was like, "Hey, man." He's like, "Did you hear?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Michael Jackson died last night." Or, yeah, he like died. They found him dead, right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, "What? Really?" He's like, "Yeah, he died," and blah, blah, blah. He's telling me all this, you know. He's the first one to tell me everything.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, maybe it was a coincidence, but that mask was like right next to my bed.
Oh, wow.
And I feel, my theory is that the spirits that were assigned to take Michael Jackson's life literally came to that room because there was almost like a,
They were confused.
well, not confused, but I mean, they're, in some senses, like they're drawn to it. You know what I mean? Like they're looking for that person, right? So they're kind of like drawn to whatever's
Like
connected to him.
Right.
And I don't know, that mask was right next to me, and literally I had like the worst night of my life.
Wow.
Like it was horrible.
Right.
I thought I was gonna die. All right, literally
That's
the pain in my chest and all that stuff. So I just think that the spirits
Mm-hmm.
were attracted to that mask. You know what I mean? And
Right.
then they killed.
were you
Michael
doing
Jackson.
the moonwalk?
I mean,
the
yeah,
mask?
I was,
That's funny.
I was moonwalking.
You heard
it
him a
up.
little bit? You
Yeah, I could hear him.
Okay.
I can hear you too.
I'm gonna.
The mariachi just beat it.
Yeah, that's why I was looking. That's why I was looking that up.
That was a funny video. And then on TV just the other day they were showing like the whole like biography of Michael Jackson and stuff, and that was interesting. It was interesting.
And then
No, and then I usually go to sleep with the TV on, right? It kind of
too.
like it kind of lulls me to sleep, right?
Right.
So I was like already falling asleep, and I guess I was asleep, and then out of nowhere, I just kind of like heard like a voice, right? Like, or in my dreams, I'm like, I just had a weird dream. It was kind of like I was saying like,
I don't know why that made me laugh. but-
yeah, no, but I was like, oh, stop smoking, stop smoking. Like the dream was telling me like, you know, like stop smoking, right?
Do you smoke?
No, but it was just like just the voice. The voice was very like you know, like hoarse, like
Like it had emphysema.
Yeah, or it had like a robot voice, or like you know, what is it when they do the throat?
Yeah.
Whatever that
Shaky.
The voice
something.
box.
the voice box.
Oh,
right?
yeah, that.
And it was saying like, stop smoking. And I was like, I opened my eyes even though I'm blind, right? And I was like, stop smoking, please. Pretty much.
Was that an anti-smoking ad?
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude, that's okay.
I
No,
woke
but
up-
that's horrific though.
Yeah, because I was like
That's
asleep.
scary.
I was asleep, and the first thing I hear is like that voice, and I can't even say what it's. I can't even like make out the words that it's saying.
Right.
And I'm like, oh Jesus, and I started praying. I started praying, shaking, and then I'm like, oh, why isn't it like rebuking? And then I kind of listen like, stop smoking, emphysema. And then it was one of those stop smoking ads. So
Right.
it was on TV, but it just kind of caught me like. Like the sound, you know, was just real like that.
Yeah,
And there was
scary.
another time, but it was even scarier though, because I was like, again, like I was kind of not the TV was off this time, and I was like kind of like falling asleep already. And then every time I fall asleep, I'd hear like a rumbling, like a in my ear, and I was like, oh man, like yeah, I'd be like rebuking again, you know, every time rebuking, and then I rebuked, and then it kind of would go away, right? And then I'd like hear like a growling in my ear, and it happened like 2 or 3 times. And then I was like, oh, like rebuking every time, like Jesus. And then I realized I was snoring.
Wow.
So every time I was like falling asleep, like
You are the source. You are the source of evil.
pretty much, yeah. Yeah. So, I
So
was-
maybe it's not us. Maybe it's Reese.
because I was snoring. Oh, and there was I'm gonna say one for you, and then I'm gonna say one for me though.
Okay,
when I
speak
first
for me.
moved into my apartment, I had a dream, or I had like a dream that there was like a duende living where I.
Oh,
A what?
Duendes
Like a
are real,
duende.
I believe.
Or not
duendes.
like a duende, but like a Quasimodo type, like
Yeah.
yeah, like a duende. Yeah, I guess so. Right? So I had like dreams like about duendes. So I was
What is
kind
a
of
duende in English?
Smurf. Very confident. Aaron, it is called a Smurf. You ignorant. Do not be an ignorant.
Please tell
Aaron,
me.
please. Aaron, Smurf.
He delivered that
Smurf.
with 100% confidence.
Aaron, it is called a Smurf. You
Please
illiterate.
tell me your scary story does not involve Smurfs. Please tell me.
And they are blue.
Oh my god.
They wear diapers. They wear little funny hats.
Is
They are
Gargamel
Smurfs.
gonna come out too?
Gargamel,
This
yeah.
is not a scary story.
What is a
Papa Smurf.
duende?
It's pretty much a mischievous little thing, kind of like a, I guess the equivalent.
gnome.
Like a gnome. Gnome.
A
Yeah, gnome is it.
It's a
like
gnome.
the equivalent of kind of like
Right.
what Rumpelstiltskin would be,
Right.
and like
Uh,
English folklore.
Folklore.
Yeah.
Don't cry.
Yeah.
I'm crying of laughter. That's just hilarious.
I'm remembering
Smurf.
something.
So
Remember,
they were
So scary.
mischievous little things that in Mexican culture
yeah.
tend to misplace things or move
Right.
things or cause
yeah.
whatever.
Because I remember a YouTube video. Well, I mean, YouTube's like not where they're at, but it scared me when I saw it. one
Juan?
time.
Juan just ran away because he saw it.
Oh, okay, they're probably calling.
He'll be back.
He's gonna poop out a duende. Okay, look.
Okay.
So anyway, tell us.
So
what
okay, so
happened
tell us the story of that.
of your
what?
Smurf.
Oh no, I just had like bad dreams.
Smurf,
Like,
okay.
and there was a dream that I was like, because I had a friend who couldn't really speak English too well, and then he was trying to rebuke it in my dream, and he kept like trying to say it, but he couldn't rebuke it because he couldn't pronounce it right.
So like you have to say it correctly
Yeah,
in
to
order
say
for it
it
to
in my
work.
dream. So that was
Why
kind
didn't
of
he just say it in
How did he
Spanish?
say it?
in the name of Jesus, like he couldn't, like he couldn't.
What
like,
is that?
He was trying to say in the name of Jesus, but it couldn't come out right.
That's the saddest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
But
well,
why
that
didn't
was-
he just say it in
in Spanish. Well, I'm dreaming. I don't know.
I'm
You're
a
a
dreamer.
I'm a dreamer.
I'm a
right?
dream.
I don't know. Like,
Dream.
but it was like that. Like, but
Dream.
yeah, and then yeah, and then for Hugo,
What happened?
remember
Tell
when
us the story
he'll
for
tell
Hugo.
you. But remember
Which
when we
one?
were kind of waking up in the morning to maybe run or jog,
Oh yeah.
and then what happened, Hugo?
So back when I was younger, I would go jogging in the morning
Mm-hmm.
just around the block at my parents' house. And this one time I woke up like at 4 a.m, I think, and I
Mhm.
couldn't sleep. So I was like, I'm just gonna go jog for a bit. And it was back when We had old flip phones, and I had like 2 songs
Yeah.
in there that I would jog to with
Right.
headphones.
Yeah.
And I was jogging around the block, and when I turned the corner, one of the street corners had the street light out, so it was dark, and I was looking right at it. So as I'm coming to it, I could see the outline, the silhouettes
Mhm.
of things like the fence, the
Mhm.
other houses. There was some light, but not a lot, and I ended up seeing this thing that was short. I would say probably around 3 or 4 feet tall. I thought it was a person because there used to be a crazy guy that lived in that neighborhood that everyone was scared of as kids in elementary school. He was legit crazy,
Yeah.
and I just thought it was him or a crackhead or whatever is around at 4 a.m. And
Oh yeah.
it was weird because as I was jogging towards it to make the turn again, and as I was getting closer to it, I noticed that it was walking really funny. The only thing that I could describe it as the motion that it would do is the nurses in Silent Hill,
Uh-huh.
where it looks like they're sped up and they move very unrealistic.
Oh,
Mhm.
Like
I
where
can
they
do
kind
that.
of like move really fast.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
No,
but-
I get it. He was wearing high heels.
and then it just disappeared. Like I was looking right at it, and I started slowing down because I realized that something was wrong with the. And all I saw was it was just black. It was just a
Uh-huh.
shadow. There was no light. There was nothing. But I saw the silhouette of something.
Mhm.
There was no features. And as I kind of like slowed down and just started slowly walking, it just disappeared. Like I was looking at it, and then it was just gone. And I don't know how to explain it.
Mhm.
It was just not there from 1 second to the next. And I got scared, and I ran into my room. I ran inside my house. I ran in my room.
Uh-huh.
And I was sitting on my bed, and I was like, okay, I'm probably just sleepy, whatever.
Right.
It was probably something, whatever. I don't know. I was trying to convince myself that it wasn't real.
Mhm.
And then I started getting this really creepy feeling in my room. Like something was in there. And my room was just, I used to sleep really dark. Like my room, I used to have stuff on my window so no light would come in. I like sleeping in the dark. And
Right.
as I was sitting there, I was like calming down. I was like, okay, it was probably just me. It wasn't anything. I felt like there was something in my room.
Mhm.
And then I showered because I was sweaty.
And you too.
Pretty crazy.
That was pretty much, I didn't think that was very good.
Mhm. That was crazy.
And that is a cell phone.
Yeah. Oh, because it's connected. Or
No.
Stacy's
Oh.
watching videos because
Oh,
she's
okay.
bored by what we're talking.
She's not impressed.
Are you not entertained?
That's crazy.
I don't know.
Either way, there's spiritual things that happen all around us,
Mhm.
and
Is it just a part of the Matrix, though?
just part of the matrix.
Are
of
they
life.
anomalies?
Is it what in the Matrix have?
Is it?
LeBron and the
Oh,
new Space Jam.
yeah. It's
Oh,
not-
the new
He
Space
says
Jam's
that,
out?
what in the
No,
Matrix
no.
have?
When it comes, there's a trailer for it.
Yeah.
Oh.
The trailer I
Because
sent
what
you. I
in
don't know
the
what you said.
Matrix have?
I saw the. I remember the
Space
trailer,
Jam.
but I thought it was art.
The Space
Yeah.
Jam scene.
I don't remember
Yeah.
the trailer to be honest.
Yeah.
Things that are like,
Mhm.
he's like, what in the Matrix have?
Wow.
I don't remember that. I'm
Le-
not gonna lie. I'm not too
LeBron
excited
James.
about that
No.
new Space Jam.
They keep remaking things that they shouldn't remake.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
First Space
Well-
Jam was awesome. we don't need LeBron James to do it.
So,
Have you ever tried rewatching the original Space Jam as
Like
an adult?
I just want to remember it the way it was. I don't want to watch it
It's
again.
not very good as an adult.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible, but still.
I thought it was good.
as an adult.
Yeah, I actually saw it. Well, I heard it.
Yeah, but like as an adult, like recently.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I heard it.
I don't know, man.
I guess it was.
I think it's one of those things that's better left just remember
Yeah.
the memory of it.
Right.
The
Right.
nostalgia.
The nostalgia.
Cruella, though.
Yeah.
You watch which one?
Cruella. He
Cruella.
says.
They
You
just
should
came
watch
out.
it.
The one with Emma
I-
Stone. That one
Look,
was-
I'll give it
I
this
don't
much.
see myself doing
it's
that.
better than
I'll
you
give
The
think.
Google.
I'll give it this much. It was better than I thought it would
Right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Oh, you saw it too?
be.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best movie,
Mhm.
Don't ask
but
when
it
I
was
saw it.
better than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same here. Like when I first heard about it, I was like, oh, whatever.
It
And
is.
then-
It is a little too long though.
It was
I think it was like maybe 15 minutes
Too
too
long?
long. It was like
well, the runtime was like 2:15. So
What do you
2
think,
hours.
Stacy? I mean, you're-
About Cruella?
I think the same thing.
About Cruella?
Yeah.
I liked it. It was a lot better than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Because we talked about this last week. We're very disappointed in like all the remakes that they're
Yeah.
making.
Yeah.
This one was.
I can't hear you.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, me neither.
Say everything you said again. Start over.
That I liked it. It was better than I thought it was gonna be, and we had discussed this last week that we don't really like all the remakes and like all the new, what do you call them?
Live
The live
actions.
action.
All the live actions
Live
we
action
don't really, we're not fans of, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, it really is better than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that really stood out was the production design. Like the sets, the cars, the clothes, the songs.
The soundtrack is like I didn't expect it to have as much music as it did. Like it was very
It was a lot of remake
the '70s stuff. Like
Yeah,
the '70s
70s?
music. The '70s music.
It had
It
like a
took
lot of
place at
Rolling
that time, too.
Stones.
That's why. Yeah, that's why they did that. Yeah.
Took place in that time.
Mhm.
Yeah, but they were kind of like different versions of the songs. Some of them.
Yeah, they were kind of but overall it was like better than you would think. So that's kind of like the tagline should be that like better than I thought. So it's not like super crazy good, right? But it's better than you.
It just
would've
sounds to
thought.
me like our standards have been lowered
I think that's what it is.
because we've been without entertainment for a while. So,
Maybe.
No, but
Well, yeah.
I think it's still good, right, regardless. Because I've been watching movies,
Juan has not
since
stopped going to the theater since it
Yeah.
opened.
and that was still COVID.
Yeah, when they opened up here in October.
Yeah, when the Russell Crowe, that was the first
Mhm.
movie I saw. Remember
Which
the
one?
I
It's like
shared?
Unhinged.
Yeah, Unhinged.
I think it's on I think it's on like Prime Video now.
Is that Fat Russell Crowe?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been Fat Russell Crowe for a while.
There's-
already.
There's
think after
nothing
that-
scarier
Fat
than
person, I
Fat
can't say
Russell
anything
Crowe.
about Fat
I mean, I'm
Russell
fat too,
I
but
think it's like
I think they even made a meme of it that I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
recently.
I don't think you can even say Fat Russell Crowe. It's just Russell Crowe. It's just that's who he is now. There's no more.
It's not Russell Crowe. It's
Well,
Russell
because-
Growe.
Pretty much.
He's
Yeah.
grown so
Oh,
much.
yeah.
Well, because they made a meme of him in Gladiator, and then they made a
Yeah.
meme of him like now.
Like when he ate that
Jeez.
character.
When he ate Caesar.
Pretty much. Not the salad.
No, not the salad.
Not the salad. But
He ate Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, did you hear that
That's crazy.
there's a big rumor about Joker 2?
What is the rumor?
That they're making Joker 2.
What
do you mean? Because it was supposed to be a standalone film.
Yeah.
And they're
Oh, yeah.
they're working
Oh,
on
are you
Joker 2.
serious?
Apparently, they're paying Joaquin Phoenix $50
Oh,
million
wow.
to come back.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Sounds like a joke. So hey, what about the new Batman movie with what's his name?
We think the ones here think it's good. The ones that
No, I know, but what's
Robert-
happening with it?
Robert
Is it coming out
Pattinson?
or no?
it's coming out. Yeah, I think already had like a little bit of a.
Like I saw the trailer. I thought
It
the
comes
trailer
out
was
next
really
year.
good.
Yeah.
Detective Gordon is
The black guy from
yeah.
Westworld.
from Westworld.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
Why can't he just be the actor from Westworld? Why's it got to be black?
That's not what you said before you started recording. So I don't know. All of a sudden, very respectful, very
Like you need to
proper.
respect everybody. Okay?
Yeah.
He's
I don't know his name though. I should. Or we
You
should.
need to be politically correct.
let me see
Yeah,
what
yeah, we know who he is. Yeah,
Bernard.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Bernard from Westworld.
and also from that.
he also
Game
comes
Night.
out in Casino Royale. I
Oh
think.
yeah,
Yeah.
And Game Night also. Remember you didn't see Game Night?
Jeffrey Wright.
Yes, that's him.
That's his
Yes,
name,
that's his
Jeffrey
name.
Wright.
There we go.
The,
He's a good actor.
well, we're also talking about the crappy high school cars, but that's another.
Oh yeah, we can save that one for another day.
Oh yeah, that's a different story.
Those are
Yeah.
different stories
Yeah.
that we can.
Yeah, because this
Come
just
back
kind of
to.
turned into because this is when we talked about this last week, the Disney stuff. How there's a lot of subliminal stuff in the Disney movies, but now it's more like comic. Because Juan was saying that again that you look like
God.
Sebastian Stan.
No, I don't.
Here
Not
you are
even
to
a little
defend
bit.
your honor.
Yeah, or to agree or disagree.
Look,
You wish you did,
right.
right?
Um,
And then like, what did Hugo say? Hugo said he looks like the Mexican Winter Soldier, which is and what do you say, Hugo? El Soldado de Invierno. Yeah. So it's
It
like
sounds like a Mexican.
like
luchador.
so the
I,
shorter,
I humbly accept.
the
I am
shorter,
weaker,
I didn't
faster
say weaker.
version,
balder
version of this
version
guy.
of Sebastian Stan.
Hey, no, you know what?
It's like
Now that we ran out of things to talk about,